Hey guys, Tom here from Back Garden Bushcraft. I'm out today with my dad. We're just having a little wander around this local woodland and we decided to have a spot of breakfast. So we're going to set up a little tarp. It's a bit boggy on the ground. This is actually a marshland, this area here. So what I'm going to have to do is build a little platform out of deadfall wood, keep myself dry off the ground. But it's going to be a lovely, really pretty and tranquil and quite secluded spot for me and Dad to have a little bit of breakfast. You won't see Dad in the video. Dad's cameraman for today, so thank you, Dad, for doing that.
It's okay.
So we're going to set a tarp up and then I'm going to show you a knife, and I'm going to do a little overview, little summary of a knife by Field & Steel, which I'm really enjoying at the moment. Anyway, stay tuned and I hope you enjoy this video. So guys, this is the Field & Steel Omega, and it's a knife I'm really enjoying at the moment. So I'm going to be talking about this today. But the first thing we need to do is make 2 or 3 more robust tent pegs. I've got a couple of really thin sort of aluminium ones, but the ground is boggy, so I want a couple of really nice stakes to hold my tarp in place. So first things first, let's cut a bit of green timber, put this on my belt so I can use it, and let's get to work. Point there, just tidy it up slightly with the knife. So I've got my pointed stick here, and to make it really firm as a tent peg I'm going to put a notch. I've already marked where I'm going to put my X, and what we're doing here is called making a bird beak notch. So I'm just going to quickly batten this, you can see there, pull it out and make an X by battening across it again. Okay, and then I can easily ping out those triangle corners, tidy up that bird beak. You can see how sharp this knife is. Razor. Don't really want to go past center because the pith will weaken it, so I'm not going to make it much deeper than that. So you can see I've done a nice bird beak notch here. It's going to be a perfect little tent peg. I'm going to make one more like this with a notch, and the others are just going to be stakes. Well guys, lunch is served. Got a nice breakfast sandwich, fried egg, nice Polish bacon, some sausages and a nice cup of black coffee. Now Dad's had to run off. My nan was having an operation on her hand today and she was out quicker than expected, so he's gone to pick her up. So it's now a meal for one. I'm now solo for the rest of the trip. It's a shame Dad missed out on his bacon and sausage sandwich, but the good news is my nan is okay and out of hospital. So happy to be enjoying this in celebration and eat some lovely food. This is going to be delicious. Right guys, so I've had some lunch. It was delicious, really relaxed. I've just been watching. There's been some biplanes going over. There's been some birds sort of fluttering around and singing at me. It's been really, really nice. And to have that nice hot food out on a fairly chilly day has been nice. But now I'd like to tell you a little bit about this knife. This is made by a maker in the UK called Field & Steel. If you haven't heard of him, do go and check out his Instagram. He's an incredible knife maker. Now, I've not been sponsored, I've not been told to say this. I am never really a knife reviewer. I don't really do many reviews on my channel. This is sort of a first impressions sort of summary of this knife because I'm really impressed with it. And I just decided to do this while I was out because I just love using this knife. Now this is the Field & Steel Omega. It's a pretty beastly knife, 5 inches long blade, 5-inch blade with a 5mm thick spine, meaning you can do some serious hard use with this tool. Field & Steel makes these completely by hand. You can see he's got a nice little jackrabbit sort of logo on there. I'll give you a close-up of that in a bit. The handle is black G10 with red liners. Really, really pretty. I love the forged sort of finish on the blade, and yeah, it's just a real chunker. Really feels good in the hand, very positive grip, and this rock pattern is just insane. Like, it really does grip really well. Now, I'm someone that normally likes a finger guard on a knife, but the rock pattern does a good job of making you feel like this isn't going anywhere. This is a really secure grip. I put a little pinky lanyard on the back, so if I'm doing any sort of chopping, I've got a nice secured grip there. One thing I really like is he's tapered it from the back where it's nice and thin, and it gets wider and wider out to where the bevels start. Okay, and that gives you a nice secure grip even though it has no finger guard. So the steel is 01, my favourite sort of tool steel, carbon steel, so it will rust if you don't look after it. But yeah, I think it's a great tool. Recently I've just really got into it and I've been using it every day. I used it on my last trip, so if you've been following my channel and you watched my Badgels wood trip, you will have seen it there. If you haven't, don't worry, I've got you. Cue the montage. So here you can see Field & Steel's logo, nice and stamped into the steel. Again, the steel's 01 tool steel, which is a really, really dependable steel for a bushcraft knife.
and this gives you a nice close-up view of this textured finish that he puts on the handles. He calls it the rock pattern, and what I really like about this is I went for black G10 and he gave me matching black pins that are almost invisible. It's actually really hard to see them, and unless you're really looking for them, they disappear into the handle, and it sort of gives like an invisible pin design to the knife. Lovely red liners, nice thick blade, and a nice 5 inches of cutting edge to play with. So a real beast. Now I paid for this with my own money. It's a knife that I really enjoy using, and so I just wanted to share it because I think some people might get a lot from this knife and might get some value of seeing one in the field. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed seeing this. I really like it. It's been used hard since I got it, and it will continue to be a trusty companion. So here's the sheath the knife comes in. Beautiful Kydex work from Field & Steel. It's got his logo on it again, and a nice belt loop. Just put your belt through there, nice for quick removal. Real positive click putting that in and out, and yeah, it isn't coming out. It's a heavy knife and it's not coming out of there however hard I shake it. So yeah, the sheath is equally good quality to the knife, and yeah, beautiful craftsmanship from Stephen. So yeah, all in all, a fantastic bush knife. Battens like a charm. It splits wood really well. Not worried about using it hard because of the thickness of the steel and also the quality of the temper. Holds an edge really nicely. I think I've sharpened it once and just maintained it with stropping other than that sharpen, which I did yesterday just before coming out today, so it was nice and sharp. Lovely Kydex work, really isn't coming out of there, you can see. And this knife is heavy because it's a solid chunk of steel. I really like the style of it. I think it's a nice blend of modern and traditional. The shape kind of looks like a large puko, but obviously it's been modernized, maybe with a slight sort of Japanese influence as well, maybe a bit like a tanto. Lovely Scandi grind, high Scandi. Slices like an absolute beast. For a thick knife, it still slices well. And obviously, really important is to have a nice 90-degree spine. I've got a lot of knives, and this is one of the sharpest spines that I've actually used. And yeah, for me, I've got big hands, and this doesn't feel like a big knife to me. I can choke up on it. Obviously, for fine detailed carving, it's not going to be as nimble as, say, a 3mm thick knife, but it can do everything you need it to. And I think it's a fantastic design, and it's one that I'm going to be carrying very regularly. I can see this being a reliable companion for years to come. So yeah, Stephen Armstrong, Field & Steel, fantastic craftsman, fantastic knife maker. And yeah, this gets my my recommendation. I will update you as I continue to use it, but so far I'm absolutely loving it. I think it's a fantastic knife, and it's been very good. I really like it. So hope you've enjoyed seeing this. I'm going to have a pipe in a minute. I'm going to relax and just enjoy being outside. Might use the knife a bit more. I actually wish I brought a carving with me to finish off, because I started a load of oak spoons yesterday and I forgot to bring them. I meant to finish them off this afternoon. But oh well, nevertheless, I'm sure I'll find something that I want to do, whether it's just sit and watch the birds or go for a walk or whatever. But I think I'm going to have a little relax, smoke a pipe, and yeah, play with this a bit more. Anyway, hope you've enjoyed it so far. Do check out Field & Steel. Well guys, just gone for a little wander. Nearby area there's a little pond I've sat at before in one of my other videos. It's really nice actually to be in a different environment. Now obviously this is less than ideal. I would not camp here. It's very boggy, it's marshy. I'm actually in a marsh. This is the driest bit back here. As you can see, this ground in front of me here is wet and muddy. So I would not choose this as a camp spot, but for a day spot it's really nice to be in a different environment. I'm just on the fringes of a pine and birch wood. I'm in and amongst all the young birches, and there's a downed willow over there as well, and it's sort of a lot of new growth, and then there's tufts of grass, and it's basically a marshy, swampy area. And I don't get to go to marsh or swamp very often, and you don't see many videos exploring those environments. So this is the most local woods to me, and there's trails that go through the whole woodland, but none come through the marsh, or this bit of the marsh. So I picked this spot not because I think it's a good place to camp. I picked it because it's a lovely place to spend a day, watch the birds, watch the wildlife, and be away from people, because obviously I'm well off the path here. So it's really nice to come to a different environment. It's a bit different than the sort of open woodlands that I would choose if I'm camping. I mean, if you were going to stay here, you just have to build a proper raised bed. Like, I'm staying really dry on my logs I've put down, and there's plenty of grass, so you could put like a raised bed with some nice big logs that get you right up off the ground, and pad it out with straw or grass. So it could work, but as I said, less than ideal, but a perfect place to explore and spend a day. I was out there with my pipe, and I felt like a mixture between Huck Finn and Gandalf. I remember Huck Finn enjoyed his corncob pipe by the Mississippi, and yeah, just it made me think of that and some of my favourite stories. So really magical little spot with that little pond, the fallen trees, the moss, and yeah, just the really young birches that are all around. Lovely and secluded, lovely and quiet. Haven't seen a soul all day. Just what I needed. A nice quiet day to myself. Anyway, I'm going to sit and relax for a little while. As I said, I went for a little wander. So getting on a bit in the afternoon now. So what I'll do is I'll take this tarp down. This is a solo knack tarp. Got it from Decathlon. It was good value. It was about 30 quid. I liked the camo pattern, and I just wanted to see how it compared. It's fairly decent quality. I don't know how it will compare with DD. I'll have to take it out in wet weather, but it seems comparable with the DD. It did have big, large warning labels on it, which I had to cut off. So be aware of that. It kind of ruins the camo with big white flapping bits. But yeah, pretty good tarp. As I said, I bought it for the course season. I get a lot of use on my tarps, and I got this actually for gear, to put gear under, or if I'm doing any one-to-ones or any sort of bushcraft instruction. I have a tarp that I can use to show them how to put it up in different configurations. This diamond configuration is a really good sort of place to have a sit spot. I really like camping under a diamond configuration like this. Yeah, really good, and I enjoyed playing with it. It's nice to get it out for the first time. Anyway guys, I'll sign off here, won't do any more talking. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed seeing the knife, the cooking, and just this sort of marshy, swampy area that I'm in. It's a little bit different. It changes that up from all the woodland camping videos to be in a slightly different environment. And yeah, get outside, do your thing, and enjoy yourselves. Stay safe guys, cheers.